final poet reading tonight is Belz. He lives in Hillsborough, North Carolina. He's the author of 3 books of poems, Bird Hover, Lovely Raspberry, and Glitter Bomb. He's the editor of The Curator, which is an online publication, and he's also a contributing editor to Capital Commentary. It's a weekly current affairs publication of the Center for Public Justice. At Smartish pace, we receive a couple thousand submissions a year, and which is where we get the bulk of the poems we publish. And then occasionally we'll invite a poet to send us poems. If they're not finding us, we'll try to find them. And which is risky business, because you may end up telling them some really bad news after you just ask them to send you poems. So Aaron's one of those people that this last year we decided to invite because he hadn't found us, apparently. And he sent us this wonderful batch of Aaron Belz poems that read just like all the ones we liked, and we're really excited. Which is to say they're both humorous and tragic at the same time. So feel free to cry and laugh while Aaron reads.
The love hat relationship. I've been thinking about the love hat relationship. It is the relationship based on love of one another's hats. The problem with the love hat relationship is that it is superficial. You don't necessarily even know the other person. Also, it is too dependent on whether the other person is even wearing the favored hat. We all enjoy hats, but they're not something to build an entire relationship on. My advice to young people is to like hats, but not love them. Try having like hat relationships with one another. See if you can find something interesting about the personality of the person whose hat you like. My Chiquita. We were friends. We dressed up as bananas sometimes and went out on the town. I called her my Chiquita. All in good fun. We talked about dating, whether we should make our relationship official. We decided no. We were happy to have the freedom of just being friends with banana outfits. What? Every day I get emails that say things like, Belz, we should have done that one thing that one time, remember? Really though, how are things? And I always reply the same way, like, dude, I do not know who you are. Where do I know you from? But I never hear back. I save all those emails in a special folder labeled, I hate my life. Three things. One. Oh, I also like to throw in French. This has some French. Three things. One. Nothing is as funny as a summer day, but three things are more temperate. One, a glass of tap water. Two, your mood after we watch Friends. And three. Two. Three things keep me from emailing you. I count bad breath and receding hairline as one thing. Three. In all the universe This is the secret of the universe, or as the French call it, le secret de l'univers. Hippie slang. When I say, I dig graves, what I mean is, I enjoy and or understand them. Either or. Egg. Every animal was born either by live birth or by egg, I think. Presidency. Every human being is either the President of the United States or not. I'm told that there's no middle ground. Pregnancy. Every human being is either pregnant with another human being, pregnant with some other creature, or not pregnant. There's no fourth option, so I am told. Movies. Every animal either appears in a major motion picture sometime during its lifespan or it does not. Which kind of animal are you, Mr. Mountebank? Team. There's no I in team, but there's one in bitterness and one in failure. Blue flashing lights. This happened in Hillsborough. Great, there's a drug bust going down in front of my apartment. Bad neighborhood. What I mean is, there's a sculpture depicting only drugs, head and shoulders, and it's going down. It's crumbling. Bad joke neighborhood. I wonder if in better neighborhoods there are joke busts going down in front of nicer houses. Middle managers waddling out in their shark slippers and teapot jammies watching 3 cop cars surrounding a corny uncle. I was just minding my own beeswax, he'd chortle, but that'd be it for him, straight to the pokey. I wonder if people busted for drugs ever say pokey, really, or if it's just the big house or the can. In my neighborhood growing up, we knew the can to be one's butt. He took it in the can, we'd say. Cute can on that new girl, we'd wolf whistle and stuff. Those middle managers are doing drugs. That's the irony. And they have real marble busts here and there in their complex homes that smell of baked goods. No, they don't get splayed out on the asphalt or remitted to the can. They're just onlookers searching for an angry fix at dawn among the hobgoblins of forgetfulness, hoping to dream the way tender waitresses dream, of things that are more obviously wrong. Ice cream. I scream, you scream. We all scream when we get stabbed in the heart. My chosen vocation. When you emailed me with news of my failure in my chosen vocation, it left me confused but also rather sexy looking. I slumped on the couch in a daze, and my hair was messy in an intentional way because I had volumized it with Matrix Essentials foam volumizer. My beard was also volumized with a vitamin-enriched formula that nourishes dormant roots with essential nutrients so that I looked like Walt Whitman. He had walked along the beach under the paling stars of morning. Closet introvert. I never let anyone know how shy I am. So I marched into my boss's office and demanded a raisin, then upped the ante to a box. "I'd love to give you 6 boxes in cellophane, kid," he said, "but I don't have the grapes to pull that off. I'm only middle management." "Okay, fine," I conceded. "How about a ride home at least? My wife can't pick me up on account of her stomach is shrunken from all the starvation at home." "That I can do," he nodded, "but wouldn't it be bloated?" He laughed. "Yeah, bloated. From all the malnutrition." We were both laughing now. A sentence about boomerangs. This morning my face, after I tried to rearrange it by putting the nose up here, one lip here and the other there, etc., snapped back to its original formation as if fated to be that way forever. And in the same way, my schedule, after I repeatedly tried to make time for you by changing an appointment here and not going to a show there, kept returning to its original ladder-like formation. And I wonder if these curiously similar experiences have something to do with the fact that you're only an imaginary friend, Mr. Puddlewump. Or if they have to do with the fact that yesterday all the boomerangs I'd thrown during the various stages of my life returned within minutes of each other, hitting me on the back of the head in sequence, like dancers that can't wait to get off stage on a drizzly night when the audience is tiny and the manager appears to be drunk backstage. Trees. I wouldn't go so far as to say there's no such thing as trees. A couple of these are palindromes, which is a sentence that goes the same, has the same letters forwards and backwards and is symmetrical. If you don't know what a palindrome is, we can talk after the reading. The first one is called good palindromes. Good palindromes make sense, but tubes nesek am similar dilab. The second one is called famous palindrome. My girlfriend has a freaking weird name. Iman Druknikar Farshar. Critique. That's not very good. Try doing that differently. That's not very good either. You're not very good at this. I'll finish with a few recent poems. Just about 23 recent poems.
You're good.
Some ways people don't sign off of letters. Great Lakes. Special fondnesses. With due aptitude. Monetarily. Cracker barreling down the road. Fuzz. Shame to ya. Lebanese dumbwaiter. Actually eyed. With handmade domestic products. Floaty. As Walter said to. Anyways, sold the printing press. Starbucks. Scatterbrain today, haha, sorry. This is a poem about a recent movie, and it is written in order to be read in the style of contemporary poetry. It's called Avatar. Blue computer graphics woman with smooth cat nose. You are purer, more in touch with nature, and actually quite a bit taller than I. discovered that your soulmate is really just a small, physically challenged white guy gasping for air in a mobile home, you've decided to stick with him. I'd taken you for one of those shallow, pantheistic, utopian cartoon giantesses, but now I see that I was way off. Disparate housewives. This is a show about housewives who are not similar to one another. Poem being written in my parents' house. This poem is being written in my parents' house almost as we speak. It isn't raining, the AC's whooshing. It's an interesting poem already because Kirkwood, Missouri is the birthplace of Mary Ann Moore, daughter of mechanical engineer John Milton Moore. I, too, am the daughter of a mechanical engineer, though his name isn't John Milton Moore, and he's an attorney. Nor was I born here, but rather in What Cheer, Iowa, where my half-sister, a nun and much older than I, actually hadn't yet been born. She was only 6 at the time, yet now, at 33, she's a stunning supermodel of a single mom, and I, at the tender age of Sierra Nevada torpedo, find myself contemplating multiple ways for both of us to noodle out of a fix in which we actually aren't. Trapped in a burning silo of our parents' misapprehensions and our extended family's excessively hot feet, which neither Adidas nor Nike nor Florsheim elders are able to contain. I say sitting here on the same blue foulard printed sofa that Iowa was Iowa before Iowa even existed. And it was ours. Robert Frost concurs. Those of you who know you're lit will get this ref. As does Thomas Jefferson. So while I'd like to confess we're about to wander down to Jeremiah's frozen custard or to amble about the black asphalt of the Amtrak station making fun of one another, my sister and me, neither of those things are true. What's more, telling you the truth isn't in my game plan. There's no confession here, nor are there stars, nor an overabundance of useful conjunctions, nor crayfish, Encyclopedia Britannica volumes, no fish tank, not even a cat to bring us bunnies. It's kills, laying them on the threshold, a word I only recently learned to spell correctly. A cat that might have been named Mary Ann or John Milton, but in fact has no name at all. It just, like the engine of my little sister's 2004 Honda Civic, purrs raspily. Jane asks me if her tires seem flat or bald, perhaps a rotation and balance soon, I say. She says she has one scheduled, that she needs new tires. She's wearing a t-shirt I gave her for Christmas. She's leaving for the gym. We respect each other's privacy. Yet why not 2 H's? Threshold. A place to hold thresh. This is how far we've come from What Cheer. The problems. I would love to sit on cream-colored leatherette sectional with you and each of us has a glass of rosé in hand and sort of laughing, talking about everything that comes to mind. I would, but the fact is I have tennis practice. Well, not practice, it's a sortie. I have tennis sortie that begins at 7 p.m. and if I'm late, the Russian who runs it will definger me with a cigar cutter, one per tardy. No lie. It happened to one of my friends yesterday, so while I would love to sit in your oversized atrium of a condo living room kitchenette deal here and bloom with innuendo whilst attempting to quench the desire produced in me by your just slightly over-applied perfume choice, and let me pause to say that I admire, we all admire, I think, the fineness of the line you've crossed. Or at least the fineness with which you've crossed it, and that it was not an extra spritz, but say merely 2 or 3 extra atoms of perfume, the tipping point close to its most delicate. Thank you. And resist leaving fingerprints on your glass coffee table supported by huge glass balls, Or marvel at the beautiful mystery of your past, the abridged history of your lovers, etc., I must fly now to my tennis sortie and pretend I'm in a minivan blasting reggae or out somewhere having fun with a younger version of you. Sitting on a park bench, coughing galwazes, looking at the moon, or maybe just not saying anything. Next time, if it could be glasses of grappa we're swishing whilst imagining what to say, if you could manage only one extra atom, and if you admit there's nothing really nice in the world, and insist, and this is important, I'm a cowboy who's lost his courage. I mean, if there's obviously something wrong with you, then maybe I'll phone it in, fall asleep, etc. There needs to be problems. Just two more short poems. Thank you for this opportunity, and to the other poets. It's nice. I have no idea where all these people came from. Alberto VO5. The thing I like best about Alberto VO5's Extra Body Shampoo is not that it contains nutrients, nor even that it contains shine-enhancing nutrients, but the graceful way it contains them, which is the same way you carry bitter regret, my love, invisibly, allowing it to work its way naturally through my hair. I'll finish with this piece called The Love Song of J. Alfred Caps Lock, which was in the McSweeney's thing a couple weeks ago. And it's all in caps, so it's hard to say it the way I wrote it. Hi, my name is T.S. Eliot. Can you hear me? I'm trying to text you from wherever I'm buried. I don't have a mobile telephone yet, so you have to bear with. Wanted to share a bit ABT, life after death, for poets at least. It's not what I thought it would be, it sucks. I'm not sure where I am and can't get Caps Lock off. For some reason, there's a poster of Matt Damon in my casket. Why, I do not know. Seriously, there's also some incense. It's like a shrine in here, but not to me exactly. I always pictured this as more like a cocktail party. But this ain't that, so let me just say, if you're listening, I hope you never have to come here, BC. It's just weird. What I really want now is to come back to life and say something droll. I just want to be hesitant about the big questions again. Like, is there life after death? What is art, etc.? But I can't even move and there's no food. Hey, if you can hear me, tap twice. Ugh, this is just boring. Someone please let me out.